Hello, PinBuilders, and welcome back. This is a video for the update for version 5.4.2, and let's just get the game started. For those of you who are brand new to the game, this is what it looks like when you first install it and run it. So you'll see the intro logos pop up, and you'll also see the tutorial system appear. So I'm not going to go through the tutorial system now because I've already done that in a previous video. So I'm just going to dismiss it. If you want to get that back, the way to do that is to just come up here and select Show Tutorial Tips. And next time you run the game, it will show those. So let's go back. And one of the new things that's new is my cat is going crazy. All right, I had to take care of that cat. Put him in the other room. Okay, so you're going to notice some visual things changing here and there. And also, we're going to notice that the blank is going to be different. I'm just going to click that, and we're going to just jump right into a blank playfield. So these are now going to, by default, include this plunger. So it's going to just be there as a default. And it will also include one of these guys right here, which is a ball spawner. So these things are needed in order for the game to work. Those are the minimum things you need. So if we go to play mode right now and play a game, those are the minimum items that you need in order for the game to start. I'll press T to start a game, and this is just a junk table, by the way. Don't get excited over this one. You roll the mouse wheel, or you use the page up and page down keys, and then you press enter, or you can press the left mouse button, and the ball will shoot. And that's an interesting bouncing issue. I don't know what's up with that, so I might hopefully fix that by the time this update actually ends up rolling out. But by the time you see this video, the update is out, so it might bounce like that. I don't. I should fix that. One of the things that is new in this update, however, is the glass. As you can see, when you get lower, it looks more blue. It looks more like glass, and the higher up you get, the clearer it gets. Behaves just like glass. And if you don't want the glass on the playfield, you can press the G key and it takes the glass away. Of course, the glass adds a little bit of dark dimness to a blank playfield like that. That's something to keep in mind. So that is new. Obviously, the latest version of the game comes with the updated hardware. So you'll notice, let me get my, you'll notice here that the hardware is white, and then on Kaiju Battle, it is orange now. You can change both the hardware color, which in that case is orange, and in this case, and you can change the button colors. Those are all going to be the same color. And the plunger is also a different color still. So those are new things. I've made some updates here. There's there's going to be more stuff coming in here. There's some artwork. There's some artwork. There's a little theme going over here in this corner, as you can tell. That's an actual UV poster from the 70s. I had one of those when I was a kid, which is why I wanted to put one in here. All right, so let's see what else. Anything else new in here? Oh, I've updated the cabinets. Now they actually have a key on the back glass, so you can look at back glasses. Nothing else new really in play mode. That's fairly obvious. Let's see. Oh yeah, on the display cabinets, plungers for now, they're just going to be the color of the buttons, because there's a lot of coding that needs to take place in order for these to be the plunger color, because these are not associated at all with the tables. Um, hard to describe what I'm talking about. Never mind. I just don't worry about that. Those will be colored correctly soon, and the type will be also applied very soon. That's a complicated thing to do, though, for these particular. Okay, so let's take a look at. Oh, yeah. Okay, so if we press tab and we go over into edit mode, we are going to just be here. So, one of the things that I did fix was this button now actually works, and you can hit resume and you can bounce back and forth that way, or you can hit the escape button. And, you know, I'm just toggling escape right now, and that works. So the menus are fixed, and that should be that for that. Another thing I did was I created a worn aware texture for the rubber. So when you when you have wear enabled, playfield wear right here, um, you'll see that the flippers will slowly get dirtier over time. And that's playtime, of course, during one full game. As long as you have that table open, that's the playfield wear range. It doesn't wear slowly over different times of opening it and playing it, if that makes sense. Okay, I removed the clear plastic ramp option for now because that was in here. That thing was just problematic and just made no sense. Also, and I apologize for this, but if you have any of these steel walls, if you have any of these on your old playfields, they might have been broken by this most recent slew of updates. I apologize for that. The same could be true for some other things. This rail, I don't know. You know, you guys are going to have to tell me what you think of this rail. I don't know that I like these rails. This is one of the earliest ones, and now it looks like it's kind of fudged up. So I think I'll probably just take that out of the mix as well until it gets properly fixed. Everything else is fine, though. These guys, these are all hard. They're not, well, they're firm in their design, let's say, unlike these, which are flexible in their design, right? So you can't just grab these and tweak them like. So there's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. That stuff's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future, at least. I did update the texture on this, and I still need to update that. But now I've created my own coil texture that's solenoid number 23 by Propulsion Studios, and it's a 50-volt coil. So there. um, so yeah, I'm trying to add more and more realism as I go. I was considering actually putting under playfield components with the other components like flippers, and they have solenoids under stuff. I'm pondering that, but truth be told, who's really gonna? I don't know. Do you guys want that? What do you think? I put that in there. All right. Let's see what else is going on. I improve. Let's see. I fixed the arcade room lights not going all the way dim. So if we go, let's see. I'm going to change this to arcade. I'm going to just pick a random game. So what this fix was for is the lights not going all the way. So if we back up here and I hold down the left arrow key, now the lights go all the way up. And maybe there should be a switch for pinball. Maybe that should go down. I don't know. But at the right now, it doesn't really seem to affect anything. I have it set up to not really affect much of the world other than that area. And yeah, and so that's a lot better, and you can get it pretty bright. So that's all good, and that'll save and all that jazz. If you press C, that'll take you back there. Let's see. Oh, it's weird. Okay, so anyways. What else? Hardware color option. Oh yeah, let's just go look at that. I didn't display that or demo that. So if you want to change the hardware color, down here we'll click on the cabinet, and now we can see most of the hardware, but it's kind of dark because the room is a little dark and it's just not reflecting that much. So let's go ahead and change it from stainless painted, and then let's pick a color and just go with something light like that. So that is now an option, and that changes all of the color so of the metal on the cabinet, except for a few things, obviously. That just helps to give it kind of a more detailed look. We're just going to leave, these things chrome. Those are all chrome. And then our bolts, we're just going to leave those. And we have feet down here. So those feet are typically not painted. So we're just going to leave them like that. And this works for any cabinet type you want. It'll go ahead and just apply. I see what I did. So I did intend to leave this piece here chrome, but in the standard version, I screwed up and I included it in the export of the model. So I need to fix that. I'll do that in the next update. That takes a lot of time to do that, and I want to go ahead and get this out for you guys. So we can do that. As far as the cabinet buttons, we can look at our buttons here, and if we want to change the colors of those, we change them whatever colors you want. Apply. When you save it, those will save with that color. That. As for the plunger, that's a different story because, well, whatever. We can show or hide the DMD, which showing or hiding. Yeah, that's only on the deep style. And okay, so that's new. Let's see what else do we have. Added the flipper and credit button. Oh yeah, I fixed a display saving bug that. So for example, let's say you want to move this guy here, and these there. Now, previously, if you just moved them like that, it would save them. But now, if you move them like that, you have to press save. And I don't think I want to press save because I've noticed that it didn't load in the table correctly or the cabinet or any of it correctly, which is rather strange. Not sure why that happened. I'm going to hit tab and continue. So I didn't save any of that. And we'll go into play mode. And you can see that the table is pretty much heavy gunner, but some of it's not right. And we'll press tab. And there we go. Let's see, I don't know what happened there, but that was weird. So now let's just go ahead and I don't know why, but I like that. Button colors, red, whatever. And then there's a couple of options for playfield color. In this case, it's just blank, but you can select a color here. Actually, select a color here. This is strange. So I've been running into a strange issue with my old plates. For some reason, there's something causing them not to function the way they're supposed to. And I think it's because they're built on older versions of Unreal, actually. I don't have any substantial evidence for this, but the only evidence I have is that the save game files, all the files that have all the data them for the tables, they've not really been changed, except for like the cabinet, for example. Which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe why they feel the color is acting weird. So, well, at least there's two ways to do the playfield color. So change it here. And then you can also, if you're in cabinet mode, you can select a playfield texture of solid color. And that will just give you solid color without the texture behind it. And this one is also apparently missing some stuff. So see here, you can fix these issues, but I will be fixing these tables and making them complete and 100% before the game is, out of early access. But my main focus, and again, I'm the only one who works on this. My main focus is to just make sure that everything functions the way it's supposed to, right? And that's a lot of shit to have to take into. What was I? Oh yeah, I was gonna add. And Upton. And that. Then we can move that. But and we'll just put it there. And that's where the ball down when it first starts. Okay, now let's see. If I press the V key, toggles those indicators. Let's go ahead and. Oh yeah, this. Oh yeah, that was new. So I'm gonna have to save this as a different table name. So I'll just T2, whatever. It doesn't matter. And now if I press tab, we should see that all the colors look correct. Set. Yeah. So there you go. You can see how you can change those colors. Anyways, let's see what else. Oh yeah, and I forgot to go back and fix those LEDs. So now they don't autosave, so you have to put them where you want them. Be careful not to rotate these two. I discovered I hadn't disabled rotation, but now I'm thinking if they rotated this way instead of this way, if that makes sense. Then all right, so if you move those, you want to go ahead and save the table again. Save. And that's how they save from now on. I don't know why I had them saving twice, but if you moved them and you didn't save it or did something else, it would save them in the wrong spot, and it was very annoying. Okay, so another thing that I fixed, and this is pretty much the last thing I fixed. Then I have something I want to talk about, and then for the next update, and then I'll be done with this video. So these gates right here are just the wire gate. They have a springiness to this here. And there was an issue where the gate was so tight that the balls couldn't roll back through it if it was just the gravity pulling the ball against the gate. So I fixed that. So that shouldn't be a problem. And that's an update in this version. And what else? What else? What else? There's something. Don't remember what. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's say you're up here and you select an object and you press F, as in fly down to that thing. It'll take you right there. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're facing the other direction, it might be a little bit wonky. You might go past it and look the wrong way. Let's try this one. It flips you around a little bit. So it's the beginning of a Zoom 2 feature that I'm working on, you know, so that you can just zoom over to something without having to like maneuver the camera all the way over there. But it is a little weird because if I just rotate, it puts me back at this angle, which I don't think is optimal, but it's a new feature. Gotta work the bugs out, but it's better than nothing because that was driving me crazy. I like having. Oh, what's that over there? Something, a couple of new things over there. I don't know if you've noticed, but yeah, a couple of things that are new added. So, one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that's rooms. Somebody mentioned a little while back that it would be nice to have the ability to make your own room. And so that's what I'm working on for the next update, and bug fixes and all that stuff. So basically what it'll be is that you'll put your own custom, there will be a custom room that you can select. And then it'll have a custom file name. So you can copy the files, or actually, this is hard to explain without showing you, but I can't show you right now. But basically, it'll allow you to put custom room wall, ceiling, and floor textures that'll all be 1920 by 1080. And then you can just put those into the a special folder that will be in the next update. Actually, it's in the current update. If you want to snoop around the folders, you'll find it in there, and you'll see the default wall texture. And you'll probably get an idea of how this is going to work, but the files inside that folder, you'll be able to duplicate those and then make them look like whatever you want and change the name of them. I'll show you how to do this in that update. And then you'll be able to set up your own rooms. And along with that, I'm excited about another thing that I think you'll dig a lot, and that is, let's see, bada boom. Let's just open this one. When another thing planned for that update will be, you can position your mouse wherever you want it, like wherever you want to take a picture of your whole game. And I think I'll probably make a special studio room for this because, like, for example, this one is so dark that there's nothing reflecting, really. If we go into other ones, like that one's too bright and it's outside and foggy. The Shining one is pretty cool, but I wanted you to have your own option, you know, so you could put your own textures and things in there. But what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to get, like, right here, ching, take a picture of that. And when you do that, you'll get maybe just the one image to put right. It'll put it right here automatically. So you'll be here, you'll press a certain button, and then it'll make the thumbnail for that table this picture instead of this. Make sense? And it'll probably just take that whole picture, because if you look at the dimensions of these um, tiles here, they're pretty close to 1920 by 1080. Pretty close to it. So I'll probably use that dimension, or, whatever, close to it. So anyways, that's going to be new. Give you that option for taking a photograph in the game room that will act as your game tiles here. And yeah, so anyway, that's the update this time. I hope you guys enjoy these new features, and I'm just going to keep working on the game. I find it I'm a lot happier when I'm just working on this under my own direction. That makes sense. Because one of the things I have a hard time with is that I've discovered that led to burnout was having so many chiefs and not enough Indians. You know what I mean? Like, I had 20 different people telling me, hey, this is this way, fix this. This is that way, do this, do that, add this, add that. Oh, this doesn't work. Can you do this like that? And it's like, at first, it was no big deal. I was fine with that. It was just fine for me. I didn't care. But after a while, being sort of an empathic type person, I ended up thinking more about what you guys were wanting, and I lost sight of what I want and need out of this game. And so, not to put you guys on the back burner, not at all. I love you guys. I appreciate your insight and your thoughts and your advice and your requests and all that. Definitely don't stop doing that. But I gotta just kind of go with my own flow, or I start to get real resentful and cranky. And that led to my burnout. That was a big part of it. So, it's important to me that I do this because I love it, and I'm doing it the way I want to do it. So, not to discount anybody else's advice or thoughts. That means a lot to me, but I need to focus more on what I want out of it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I hope that makes sense. And just one last thought to share with you guys, and that is that once I'm done with the bulk of just the basics of getting everything dialed in to where it all works, it's nice, it plays well, there's no weird shit happening, there's no bugs going on, people aren't hitting me all the time with, oh, why doesn't it work? It doesn't work, something's not working, or whatever. I want to get it to that point, and then I'm going to start focusing on building pinball machines, which is the whole point of why I started this project in the first place. It's true. You guys, I don't even know if I ever told you that, but I wanted to. I've restored actual pinball machines for the last 16 years, and one of the things I always wanted was the ability to put one of these things down on a playfield and just like grab it and have the rubber just stretch automatically. And, of course you can do that, but it's not quite the same as this. This is just stretching, and the rubber is the same regardless of like that. But if you had a rubber ring on this and you stretched it, it would be so tight that it would be ridiculous. But that's what's fun about this game. And I wanted to be able to just drag and drop and like scoot things around or rotate them easily and, do all this cool stuff and put my own digital textures. And I did do that with Future Pinball way back in the day. Like, I don't know, like a lot of years ago. In fact, my 8-Ball Deluxe has been included with, like, I guess the pinball ROMs that come with games and stuff. That's pretty cool. It's still in there. And, well, whatever. But anyways, this was my dream, was to make a game that does this, what we're looking at. And it is doing that. And I'm freaking proud of that. Yay. And I appreciate that you guys are into it too. And that means a lot to me. Dude, you have no idea how much that means to me. I wish I could make a living off of this game, but I can't. I don't know if that's because I just don't promote it enough, or I don't know how, which is true, or that people just don't talk about it, or maybe people are talking about it and talk isn't good because it's been early access and kind of buggy and acting weird for a lot of people. I get that. I fully get it. You know, maybe I released it too soon into early access. But if you go look at other popular games that have gone into early access, it's a good thing, and they don't sit in early access forever, but they also um, it's not a brief period of time. Typically, it's like 2 to 3. I think on average. I don't want it to be in early access that long, but it is right now. You know, I I have I don't look at the past. I don't look at the future. Those things don't even exist. The only thing that exists is this moment right now. You're sitting there listening to me, looking at these lights blink with me as I look at them blink, and uh, that's the moment right now that we're in, and that's all we got. That's it. So I'm focused on that moment. Where does this stand? What do I need to do to make it like I want it? And I do that. So that's my approach, and I love it. And I just have to sell my stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. I gotta offload a bunch of shit anyways just to be able to move. So that's all. It all works out, right? Everything works out in the end. The game is on sale currently. It's half off. So if you want to get the game for half off right now, there's a big Steam sale going on. PinBuilder is part of that. So please check it out. If you haven't bought the game, go buy it. Enjoy it. It should work perfectly for you. And yeah, until we meet again. All right, you guys. Take it easy and have yourself a great pin building day or night.